Hey guys, Jay here. Excuse me. Just getting some sheets ready, about to do some laundry. Just got home from a ridiculous trip to Miami, take care of some family biz. Oh, there we go. So we gotta do the laundry. Look at me, look at me. I wash my sheets now every week. Just like I learned that in jails and institutions, baby. Look at me go, right? Well, I wanted to talk about something. The fact that I know I have autistic spectrum disorder. Something I've never came out of the closet with. I mean, sure, you know me. I'm weird, and there's not many people like me. But why am I weird? And I thought I was weird too. Don't get me wrong, obviously. I found out about it. Well, here, let's backtrack a little. And this is why I know it's true. Let's backtrack a little. Approximately the summer of 2011, someone mentioned ass burgers. I know, ass burgers. They made a South Park episode about it. And I said, I've heard of that. I was accused of having that once before, but I ain't no retard. So you can go fuck yourself, right? And then someone mentioned it. That was in 2003. So, of course, I abruptly brushed that off. And then in 2011, it was brought up to me 8 years later. And I brushed it off again, thinking, what are you talking about, man? No, that's not true. So I'm unpacking a little too. Some of my snacks, got some water. Let's make some coffee. Fucking right. The other day I made coffee and I turned on the coffee machine with no coffee in it. And then it's like this brown water came out. I'm like, why did this happen? Oh yeah, because there's no friggin' coffee in it. Let's put some actual coffee in it, shall we? Back to the story. So then someone else, two people mentioned it in that same year, right? And I said, this is getting weird. So I briefly mentioned it to my roommate slash friend, Amanda D, who happened to have a book on it, right? Happened to have a book on it. And I said, what? Let me just read this. Let's read this. Got some Publix House Blend. That's the supermarket chain we have in Florida for you viewers out there in other states. Got the Slaughter Lord shirt. Great pseudo-death thrash metal from Australia from the mid-80s. Only released several demos. Very good music, ladies and gentlemen, if you're into that type of stuff. They even have all their demos out on one vinyl, so you can just get the one vinyl compilation. Anyway, so we're back to... So I read the book, right? I didn't even finish it, and I was shitting my pants, man. I was like, the similarities. It's like when I first read books on addiction and started hearing stories of people in recovery about getting sober and living the addict lifestyle, right? I said, wow, you're an addict too. And you have a solution, blah, 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 whatever. And I read the book, right? I read the book, shat myself, and then proceeded to try and get disability, right? So I could just get high, play video games, and jerk off. Right? And that's why I think people brushed me off at the beginning. So like, oh, Jordan, you're just trying to be different and get a check because you're an idiot. And that's true to a certain extent. However, the identification in my mind and body and soul were there, and it was undeniable. It was undeniable, and no one would believe me. I tried to tell counselors and shit. They said, oh, your eye contact's too good. You can't have this autistic spectrum thing. Your eye contact's too good. And you talk too much. Or something like that. I was like, bitch, where do you think I learned eye contact? from jails and institutions, as a matter of fact. Because when you're locked away and you're in these places for 24 hours a day, right? 7 days a week with forced to be around a bunch of people, your social skills and social instincts and way of being change over time. You know, you become acclimated to a new style. You see what I'm saying? So eye contact, you have to look cops and COs in the eye because otherwise they think you're lying, right? That's how I learned eye contact, is because doing drugs, people think you're lying when you don't look at them in the eye. And I was trying to lie, so I was like, shit, how do I get away with shit better? I know, look at them in the eye. Ha! Boom! Problem solved. Got away with murder, basically, so to speak, for years. Reason I actually got arrested sometimes, it was because of my co-defendant, really, making a scene. Not me. Shit. Anyway, we're not going to get on that. That's a whole different ballgame. Whole different ham. So, I knew it was right. So finally, fast forward to summer of 2020, right? I spend $800 goddamn dollars. And you know this drug addict cheapskate ain't coming off money like that unless it's for something very serious. So that just proves to you how much this meant to me, because I proceeded to get a diagnosis because I wanted to know if it was just me all up in my head trying to be all special and different or get attention. It's like, dude, I was so uncomfortable talking about this. Do you think I want fucking attention about this? About a lot of my other shenanigans? Yes. 100%. 100%. But this, being a partial retard? No. That's embarrassing. I couldn't even say the word. I would shake and shake like this. I think, like when I would bring it up to these counselors over the years, I'd be like, you know, I'm thinking, you know, I'm kind of thinking, might have, what was that, Jordan? I might have, it's like, what? You know, it was like that, dude. It was so embarrassing. Oh my God, it was fucking terrible. Yeah. And then I would be disappointed. It's like I mustered up all that courage to talk about it, and then you just brush it off. It's like, bitch, please. It's like you're feeling all these lumps in your ball sack. It's like, no, I might have ball cancer. Ah, no, dude, Jordan. Just in your head. You just have hard balls, dude. Naturally. Whatever. You just have hard balls. Oh, okay, sorry, doc. Sorry to waste your time. I must just have naturally hard balls. Oh, my bad. Should have known, you know? Fuck me, right? God damn. So I know it's true. Oh, that diagnosis came in as yes, correct. I fit the description of that person. And apparently it's a spectrum, so that means different people exhibit the traits in different ways. Not everybody's the same. Like, to me, this is my opinion, but most drug addicts are pretty fucking similar. All selfish, self-seeking, make excuses, go all out on everything. Whether it's food, work, life, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of the same shit, different toilet, really, with addiction. So, I mean, obviously some of the stories are different. You know, mine, definitely. But, I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like the same shit, different day. With most of it. On how they behave. You know what I mean? So, well, if you don't know what I mean, just trust me on this. Okay, as an addict who's been in a shitload of those recovery groups, let me tell you. Okay? So, yeah, man. Now, okay, the first part of identifying, like trying to fix something, is you have to figure out what the problem actually is, right? You have to identify, to even come up with a solution, you have to identify the problem. You have to pinpoint it. So we've pinpointed part of the problem. I've known I was an addict for years. Okay, whatever. So I've been learning about the solution for that for years now. Now, what's the solution for this? Is there a solution? Does it need to be solved? Is it even a problem to begin with? Or is it just a different style of processing things mentally and physically? Is that all it is? And it is what it is, and I just rock out with my, you know what, out. Is that what we're going to do? I don't know. See, some people argue it's not a mental disability at all. It's just a way of life. It's a way of thinking. I argue, yeah, it is a disability. It is disabled to me personally, I'm speaking for me, from doing a few things. Having meaningful relationships. That's what really drove home with me, was the identification of how these special people interact with the opposite sex in dating and love. That was a big one for me. I'm not going to get into the traits. You Google, you got Google, right? Yeah, you look it up yourself. I don't have time for that shit. But yeah, man. Yeah, my relationships are really unsuccessful on a regular basis. And it's not just because I used to do drugs. It's not just because of that. I assure you. I assure you of that, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just because of that. There's other factors involved. There always was. So yeah, I do look at it as a problem. So what's the solution? I'm still looking into that. People say I gotta find counseling. I tried to join a group, right, that had activities and togetherness. It was called My Autistic Connection down here in Southwest Florida. But they banned me from joining because of my criminal and drug background. So I was like, all right, that's cool. I'm not gonna hustle up some other autistic kids. Like, Jesus Christ, smoke crack in front of them. Like, come on. I have some standards of decency. Jeez, give me a break here. I wasn't gonna do. I even told them that in the interview. I'm like, I'm not gonna do something like that for these poor other kids. These other people. They're not kids. They're adults. They're not friggin' kids. It was a group for grown-ups. I thought I could find maybe a friend, someone to identify with. You know? So, because if me, the person with the illness, if I don't have the identification with another human with the same illness, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a fucking problem. Imagine us addicts having no other drug addicts to talk to about recovery. Imagine that. You're the only drug addict in town that you know of. That's what it's like for me with this shit. I'm the only guy that I know of with this type of mental capacity, let's just call it, or whatever. Some people call it neurodivergent. And then those without the autism are called neurotypical, I believe. That's the lingo they use. I don't know. I've probably already said a lot of offending things to other autistics. Like, we're not retarded. It's a joke, all right? Like, don't take yourself so goddamn seriously. If I want to call myself a retard, you know what? I'm going to fucking do it. Maybe I should. Maybe you're right. I should stop calling myself that. Maybe you're right. You know? I should stop. Maybe that's part of the problem. Because if you're going to ask me right now if I'm comfortable with myself fully, the answer is hell to the motherfucking no. Deep down, no. No. The answer is no. So yeah. That's my story. That's where we're at on my autism. It's a fact. It's Trust me, I'm not trying to be different, man. I don't even have to fucking try to be different. I have to try to be normal. You know how fucking hard that is to be on a regular basis when I leave my house and acclimate to regular society? It's very challenging. Dude, yeah. But it does bring a lot of good things too. It brings creativity and innovation and just general interestingness. I had someone tell me last week I'm like the most interesting person they've ever met. Okay. Okay, that's what I'm preaching. Finally, someone recognizes greatness. I'm just kidding. I'm okay. I gotta get the laundry done, son, because I got other stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. Nah, man, cuz. Peace.